Hi everyone. I just wanted to start out and say that I love you and I miss you so, so much. I wanted to come on here and give you kind of an overview of your Bible lesson this week. Last week, your lesson was all about how the Israelite people who had lived in Egypt in slavery for over 400 years were finally going to be set free out of slavery and go to Canaan, which is God's promised land to them. So after Pharaoh had he had endured all the plagues, and God had sent all the plagues, and Pharaoh finally said, that's it. I will let those people go. Get the Israelites out of here as long as you stop the plagues. Moses and Aaron finally took the Israelites out of Egypt. As they were going and walking out of Egypt, think it was over millions of people that were traveling with them. And so God sent a pillar of cloud by day to guide them so that the Israelites knew where they were going in the desert. And he sent a pillar of fire by night so the Israelites would know where they were going at night, so they wouldn't get lost when they were traveling through the desert. So they were traveling along, and all of a sudden, Pharaoh changes his mind again. And he starts pursuing the Israelites, which means he starts chasing after them again. And the Israelites are going through the desert, and they come across this big sea in front of them. It's called the Red Sea. So they're going and they see the Red Sea, and they're thinking to themselves, how are we going to get across this? And then they hear and see that Pharaoh is coming on his chariots, which just means like a carriage that's traveling by horse. So like horses are pulling the chariots, and Pharaoh and all of his men, the Egyptian people are coming after the Israelites. So the Israelites are stuck. They have the Red Sea in front of them. They have nowhere to go. And they have Pharaoh and the Egyptian people behind them trying to recapture them and take them back as slaves. So they're really scared. They have a lot of fear, which means that they're scared because they don't know what to do. So in this week's lesson, you are going to learn about how God shows his power again and how he uses Moses to set the Israelites free yet again and saves them. So in your lesson this week, you're going to have to read Exodus 14, verses 21 through 22 to see how God shows his great power. And some of you might already know the answer to this because we've watched the Superbook in class before about what happens. And then after that, you are also going to need to read Exodus 14, verse 31 for page 104 in your workbook to answer that question. Okay? And then after that, the last page on page 105 in your workbook, it's talking about the word fear. Now, we just went over how fear can mean like you're scared, right? So the Israelites were scared. They had fear when they didn't know what to do because the Red Sea's in front of him. They have no way to cross. And Pharaoh's behind them coming in to recapture them. So that's one way that fear means. But also, fear can mean like when we fear God, it just means that we trust him and respect him. So if you fear someone, it kind of can also mean how you trust them and you respect them too. So fear can have two different meanings. All right. So I hope you have a great Bible lesson, and we'll meet again.